Hi, I've been asked to present this on behalf of Mina Pro from the Philippines. This is one example of a university in the Philippines that has implemented over the last couple of years a big data and analytics curriculum. Now, as far as their skill set, just to actually, before I go into this, give you a little bit of a background. Philippines has done some incredible work over there with regards to making sure that industry, government, and the education area has all combined together to really work together and put out a curriculum right across multiple universities with the goal of actually making Philippines the center of analytics. They've actually even also put together a consortium called Analytica, again with the focus of getting industry, education, and government to work together to promote the skill set itself. Now, with this particular university, the University of Pasig City, one of the things that they took a look at, again, which is fairly common here with most of us, is the skills gap. What kind of skills are required? And they did look at the regional level also. And part of what they were started off with is 40 freshmen were actually picked and streamlined into a specialization of business analytics from an existing Bachelor of Science and in Business Administration and Marketing Management course. And with regards to this, because of the fact that they really were looking at the success of the program, they identified those which had a grade average of 80% of all subjects and at least 85% in mathematics in their final year of high school for admissions. And a lot of the students themselves also had to go through a panel interview with the professors themselves, really to find out what their motivation was to actually get into this study itself and why. So it wasn't a matter of just anybody walking in off the street and actually getting into the program itself. They had to go through a very rigorous process with regards to being accepted into the program itself. A number of things that they were looking at: high level of English language proficiency, okay, computer proficiency also, and critical thinking skills, okay, which we all, I think, can agree that with regards to big data, a lot of it isn't only a matter of working with the information itself, but actually being able to communicate, okay, with the people that you're trying to present solutions to. So here are three of the things that the students really needed to have, and the skill set itself was geared towards, really what do we want coming out of our program? What kind of skill sets do we want with regards to the students that are going out into the industry and working? And, with regards to that, I mean, successful students coming out, being able to work, okay, really gave really was very, very important with regards to the success of the program and for the program to actually grow. Now, the actual program itself consisted of 6 different parts. Part of it is taking a look at what was business analytics. They didn't want to actually go in assuming that anybody knew anything, and they have each of these, by the way, is a full semester course. And in the Philippines, a full semester course is actually 16 weeks. It's not a 12-week program like it is in North America or maybe in some other countries, but it's an actual 16-week course. The fundamental of business analytics included into it a number of case studies that they had to look at. They did talk about the concepts of business analytics itself. And on top of that, one of the projects that they worked on was they were partnered with somebody in industry to actually cover a certain topic area. The fundamentals of data warehousing looked at the modeling of data, and actually they did get some technical skills with regards to using one of the IBM tools, Framework Manager. Each of the students and the faculty members needed to take the training. So there was some training for the faculty through every one of these programs. And a lot of the other part of this is that any faculty who went onto the training were also asked to get the certification in the tool itself, okay, to make sure that they were proficient in actually using it. So the fundamentals of data warehousing included into it, as I mentioned, Framework Manager, IBM Cognos tool. For descriptive analytics, we're looking at the report authoring of data. Again, faculty was trained for that, and the students, again, were actually using the Reports Studio tool, and in some cases, the Cognos Workspace and Cognos Workspace Advanced tools from the Cognos BI tool set. For predictive analytics, this is where SPSS Modeler came in, and with the prescriptive side, we have SPSS Statistics. The final portion of it, which again tied in with everything that they were studying through in the other 5, is an analytics internship. Okay, and they were expected to put 600 hours in, working in industry with a partner to really apply what they learned in the first 5 courses, but also apply it in real life. Okay, so from this, basically what you were getting is somebody that was a well-rounded graduate coming out of the program. So the main objective was to join the labor market in the business process outsourcing in Pasig City. Okay, and they had to have the skills of being able to define business requirements. I should say define business requirements. Do some tailoring of the data architecture itself, and really be able to take a look at where the data was coming from in the organization and what kind of reports needed to be created. With regards to the reports that are being created, they really focused in also on when you're putting a report out, you need to be telling a story. It's not a matter of just smattering all the data on it that was available, but really be able to tell the story and use the appropriate visualizations for them. On the analysis side, okay, they needed to be able to support and show that what was being put together was going to be optimizing the business itself. Okay, and on top of that, one of the main things was really having an understanding on data management. Okay, being able to work with information, being able to really take a look at where the data came from, understand the information itself also, along with the industry that they're actually being paired up with, and really being able to look at where, not only where data was being coming from, but also making the information available off to the people that were going to be using it so that they could go off and make their business decisions. On top of that, they had to demonstrate an understanding of what business intelligence was. It's not, again, a matter of just being able to report out the data, but also being able to walk right through the whole flow. They needed to be able to communicate with the client. They needed to understand what was needed to make business decisions. They needed to know from that where they had to go and find the information, where it was stored, how it was being analyzed, how to assess whether the right information was coming out also. Okay, we all know about the garbage in, garbage out side of things, so they needed to understand that side of things. There was a number of different modeling concepts that they did take a look at also. And as far as taking a look at data access, there were some constraints that they had to deal with. Okay, again, depending on what industry they were in and what departments within the organization itself, there were some challenges that they did actually come across with regards to different areas sharing data with each other. And some areas just weren't working with each other. There were silos of data sitting between departments themselves, and they needed to be able to connect them together and connect them clean. And I think everybody who has actually ever worked with data modeling and connecting different data sources together knows that, for example, employee number 1 on one data source isn't necessarily the same employee number 1 on another data source, likewise with clients, et cetera. So there was a lot of data cleansing that they needed to understand and to really bring things together. Again, on top of that, there is another number of parts here where they needed to take a look at different tools. They did do some research on different tools that are available out in the industry itself. They also took a look at the tools. Which tools do I use for different business functions? So for example, I'm not going to use Cognos Insight to do statistical. You can use Cognos Insight to do evaluation of your information, but when you get into deep statistical analysis of information, you're probably going to go over to SPSS statistics, which is what they were doing. They use SPSS Modeler also to, as I mentioned a little bit earlier on, to really make sure that they're using the right tool to do the right work. Additionally, with regards to working with industry, they were not expected to just be a spectator. They were expected that based on what they were working on and the information that they were bringing forward, they were expected to actively participate in helping and assisting in business decisions across the departments that they were working with. And also, with regards to that, the participation part really, it made it necessary for them to actually go off and create the reports, okay? Create the information that needed to be presented, whether it was through a presentation slides or whether a document that actually outlined the findings of what was in the information and what was being asked. And on top of that, really apply the analytics right across those presentations. On top of that also, since some of them were working in some new industry areas that they hadn't been in before, they had to understand the business processes so that they could relate it to the analysis and the optimization points that they were actually taking a look at. Last couple of points here. Again, conveying the results, which I've already mentioned with regards to the analysis that was done, okay, to the organizational stakeholders. And we're not only talking bottom-level managers here. There were some higher-level managers that were involved in the presentations that they were doing. And also, the other part of it is that they needed to make sure that, in the end, the student could perform the high-quality tasks that the organization itself needed, and just by the industry in general. Now, other recommendations out of all of this with regards to this program that they've actually put together. They are looking always with regards to making sure that the program is effective and all, and a number of recommendations came out. They are looking at their admission requirements and making sure that they are bringing in or using a screening process with regards to the people that are coming in through, or the students, I should say, that are coming in through the program itself. The curriculum itself is designed to focus on the English language proficiency in the first year of the coursework, okay? For anybody who's ever been, how many people have been to the Philippines? Okay? How easy it is to talk to the people there in English? It's not that bad at all, right? English is a very widely spoken language there, and so English language proficiency is important there because they do understand that with regards to analytics and the skills gap that's that's existing in the world around the world, that you need to be proficient in language. Introducing courses in logic to improve training in critical thinking. They do know that they need to have some additional material on that side. And basically that's the final part of what they're looking at. So and this is basically the last part of it right there.